Are you the type of trader who thinks you should trade every single day? Probably you're not using daily profiles. So in this video, I'm gonna explain to you exactly when to avoid sessions, what sessions are high probability, and how to use the average daily range as well, so you can determine when to take profit or when actually to skip a session. Also, being a day trader doesn't mean trade every single day. So let's get to work. Alright, time frame alignment model, guys. Let's go to the syllabus. We're on episode number 7 today, intraday profiles. And next episode, I will drop it in the same week as this one. And this is going to be a very exciting one, so stick around for that one as well. We're going to talk about intraday profiles. So what I want to do is go straight into TradingView, so I can show you a lot easier how to determine these profiles and when to skip a session and when to actually look for a high probability setup. Okay, so we're in TradingView right now, and I'm going to show you exactly how I look for these high probability sessions, and I'm gonna show the executions on the chart as well in a bit. Look at this weekly candle, for example, right? This is Euro USD from this week, where I bought and where I executed and where I profits. What I want to do is focus on a classic buy day always. This is the most important profile for me, because this is where a manipulation happens after Asia session. So let's look at this over here. We've got Asia session over here, right? 8 p.m. until New York midnight open, which is over here. So if we mark out our Asia range, which is this one, this piece of price action over here, let's go to the 15. This needs to be a consolidation before the New York midnight opening, because a classic buy day, we want to have a manipulation below Asia session, and then we want to look for a buy setup. So what I want to do over here is look for a short-term low to get rated with this profile, and we can see one over here. Now, important, is this low actually in discount? That is also something you need to measure. So we take the last swing low to swing high. Even if we take the lowest point, it's still in discount, right over here. Now, this being a consolidation during Asia session makes this entire setup a lot higher probability. So with my time frame alignment model, I always use the sequence 4-hour key level into 1-hour order pairing, or 1-hour key level into 15-minute order pairing. So if we go to the 1 hour over here, we've got a fair value gap. So this is the key level from this order pairing sequence. Even an inverse gap over here. So this makes it even higher probability, because if you have an overlapping fair value gap, for me that's a higher probability trade setup. But the most important part is that we have actually a 15-minute low just at the key level, right? So this is what we want to see. We want to order pair a low, a short-term low, if we want to be a buyer, into a key level, hitting discount, and then we want to write the distribution higher. So this was a perfect example of a classic buy day this week, and I engaged on it as well. If you see the executions on the screen. And what is the next thing we should do? We should just write the position down until you hit 100% ADR. If you use the indicator 5-day ICT ADR by Bryce WH, so go to indicators, then go to 5-day ICT, then you have this one on the top here, 5-day ADR ICT intraday tracker by Bryce WH. I use this one so I can gauge how much the market has moved already. So if we look at this over here, right, at this point in time, over here it already hit 100% because we had some consolidation previous, so the average daily range is a little bit smaller. So where I entered was about 60% ADR, so there was a lot more room to go higher. Then price traded up higher, and then over here we hit around 100% ADR, which is also taking out the high over here, right? So this is where my first partial was taken, based on the ADR being 100% and a short-term high getting taken out. So this is a good part of risk management, and this is what you always want to do. You don't want to greed for your positions and just take partials at the logical areas of price action, which is old highs in premium, or 100% ADR of a daily candle. Now I partialed this and let the rest run because the drawn liquidity was a lot higher for this weekly candle, right? And then the next daily candle, I looked for another opportunity. So if we look over here, what do we have with Asia session? Important, right? We need to know what the previous session has done before. This is Asia session. It didn't really range. It looked like a slight move down, but the bodies were so compressed in this entire move, this still counts as a consolidation. So this is still fine. So how do you get in while there is no manipulation below Asia session. This is going to be key. I will show some screenshots as well of the call I did in Discord, explaining why price will probably not drop lower. And the reason is that manipulation had already occurred prior to New York midnight opening. So what you want to do is expect the Judas to come in with London session if Asia session was a clean sideways piece of price action or a consolidation and there was no manipulation prior. But because President Trump spoke about tariffs and there was already a manipulation late in the previous day, now Asia session already had a manipulation phase, so London session is not required to make a manipulation phase. So that's why it didn't trade below New York midnight opening. And this is very key to understand the context and narrative of using this daily profile, because the classic buy and sell day is the money machine. Trust me, you only want to trade this profile if you want to be consistently profitable. And if you look at this over here, Asia range, right? Slight move down, but still consolidation in the bigger area. And if you think back about the episode about market cycles, right? After a consolidation, you can only have a retracement or another expansion. So if it does go down, it's a fake move, it's manipulation. And if it does not go down, it's just a straight up expansion. And you can expect the entire day to trade higher. Now, what I did is entered inside of the consolidation because I knew there was already a manipulation happening previous day. So there's no reason for price to drop lower. So I did a smaller risk entry inside of the consolidation. And then once price expanded, now we get a clue that we want to trade higher. So what I did over here, look for a short-term low, right? They engineered one over here. Did we actually hit discount? Let me draw this one out, right? Yes, we hit discount over here, right? So it's a valid setup. Now, just buy below an old low in discount when you're in an expansion phase. It's clearly as simple as that. It's no, you don't have to make it much more complicated. It's literally everything I do every time. And you don't have to complicate it. It's just waiting for an expansion, short-term low to get formed. You buy the short-term low in discount and there should be a continuation. So I entered around here and then I took profits all the way up here. And then price went all the way down. And now this is a beautiful one because this is a 1 hour key level into a 15-minute sequence. But if you go to the 1 hour actually over here, we have the same thing I always look for, only on a different key level. Now, I posted this sequence on Twitter as well. Let me see if I can put it on the screen right. But the key level is a 4 hour, right? So if we go to the 4 hour, let me mark that out. This is the same sequence, right? So we have a 4 hour key level, and then we use a 1 hour order pairing range. Now look at that, right? This is a low where we want to rate into the key level. And then if you look the entire range we were in, it hits discount, rates a short-term low. Classic buy day, even though it barely went below daily opening price, and then it expanded massively. And look at today as well, right? Today is just crazy because Trump is talking about tariffs and he's absolutely destroying the dollar right now, which is totally fine for me because there's a lot of volatility in the market, so I can make more money. With volatility comes opportunity. So this is kind of what I wanted to go over with. It's a very short video, but this is just to show you only need to focus on one profile and using the ADR to take profits and knowing when to skip a session. So if I just give another example, let's go to GBP JPY, for example. Let's look at this one, right? Over here, we've got Asia session, so you can trade London. Why? Because this was a slight sideways price action, so London session should be an expansion. And London session created a massive up move. Now you want to skip New York session in this occasion, even though it dropped all the way down again. The reason why you want to skip it is because after a super large expansion like this one, you don't want to trade the next session. There's either only going to be a retracement or it's going to consolidate. So if you're bullish on GBP JPY, for example, and London has expanded this much, you can only expect a retracement or a consolidation after this session for more buys. So you want to buy more, but you will not be able to do so because London already expanded that far, and New York session is either going to be a retracement, as we can see over here, or it's going to be a consolidation. Same thing with the previous day over here. We had a consolidation here. London session looked absolutely atrocious. So you could trade New York session. You just wait for a short-term low to get rated and then for displacement and see if you can catch a trade during New York. So New York is valid in this occasion. And if we look at the most recent price action right now, you can trade New York, but it looks absolutely atrocious because look at this. This is terrible. But really focus on what I showed you on Euro USD. These are the easiest types of setups. So when you have displacement and a clear draw on liquidity, use the classic buy day profile. Don't start looking for consolidation before news release type of profile. Just stick with the classic buy and classic sell day. That is literally all you need. Buy old lows in discount, sell old highs in premium. And in the next episode, guys, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, how to do top-down analysis, how to avoid certain trade setups, and how to do risk management. So really stick around for the next one. It's going to be over an hour long. And I hope you enjoyed this one. Short and concise video. And check you in the next.